and thank you for tuning back into the Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network. Alongside Lucas Patton, I'm Alex Kokoros, and we have a fun one for you today. The second half of our doubleheader, the Chapman men's Panthers taking on the Pomona Pitzer Sagehens. And Lucas, means a lot for both teams. 4-5 in conference, both teams are. A lot of playoff implications on the line. Chapman coming off a 20-point win against Laverne. What do you want to see for them to continue this win streak rolling?
Well, thank you, Alex. And we know 100% Chapman has that momentum running. 189-50 against Laverne, and we saw an absolutely beautiful poster from Blakely Stoughton. So they do have the momentum running into this game, but on paper, both teams are extremely similar. But the free throw percentage, essentially the same, Alex.
And look at, like identical stats. I mean, it makes sense. Both coming in at 10-8 on the year, 4-5 in conference play. And obviously we got to keep an eye out for Joe Cookson of the Sagehens, averaging almost 23 on the year. Did have 23 points when they last faced the Panthers. So I'm sure Coach Krikorian and his staff want to do a job of limiting his abilities.
And it's going to be interesting to see how the Chapman Panthers are going to elect to stop, I guess you could call him Pomona Pitzer's very own chef down there on the court, Joe Cookson. He's been tremendous throughout the entirety of the season. Chapman Panthers' overall defense is third in the SCIAC, so they are a slightly above average team when it comes to defense. But when you have a heroic player like Cookson, it's always going to be a very tough battle.
And these two faced off back on January 11th, the Sagehens walking away with a 14-point victory. But both teams neck and neck in the standings. An important one here at Hutton Sports Center. Nigel Williams getting a second straight start after a great game. Last game against Laverne, season high 18 minutes and 12 points. We'll see him continuing that momentum.
It's going to be interesting to see, and he gets the great responsibility of the tip-off. So far, in the last few games, he's been huge as the Chapman Panthers take it away to get the game underway here at the Hutton Sports Center.
And the Panthers win the tip. We are underway. Eberly, nice pass there from Caffo, starting us off nice. Eberly continuing where he left off. 20 points, 6 threes last game. And he has been hot these past couple of weeks. Cookson looking to get going early. He's off the mark, but we're going to stay here.
When you have two players who are as great at basketball as Cookson and as Heberly, you can only wish for a back-and-forth type game as the Chapman Panthers defense holds strong on that one. Nigel Williams recovering.
And Eberly looking to get going early, making 2 threes right off the bat for Eberly. He was 0 of 7 last game against the Sagehens, and just like that, he has 2 threes.
And ever since breaking that 1,000 career mark in his college basketball career, he's been absolutely unstoppable. 2 free throw, 3-point shots, too good. There's no stopping him, Alex.
The big fella, Pete Boyle, extending his range. That looked pretty from the 6'8" senior. Stoughton dominated Laverne last game. He too put up 20+ points. And Williams, a board and a 2. Great production Williams has been for Coach Krikorian.
He's been in great production. One of the secret weapons, you could call him Weapon X maybe, against Laverne. He set every single career high. Points, he scored 12, rebounds 6, and minutes 18, essentially played half of the game. Laverne really felt his presence as Stoughton blocks it.
And this is Ty Bergman, their second leading scorer. Way off the mark there, but Malarkey cleans up his own miss. Cookson, 0 for 2 to start. Billings, the 5'8" guard, boxing out the 6'8" forward, and we're going the other way. Adam Damian checking in. He missed the past couple games due to injury, but good to have him back if you're the Panthers.
And a good thing about having a player who now Coach Krikorian knows can perform on the court, like Nigel Williams and also having Weapon X, Adam Damian, this team has so many stars, and it's going to be interesting to see who coach elects to play more.
Billings. Nice move to get to the cup. He's been struggling as of late in his last 2 games, 3 of 19 from the field. Such an important part of this Panther team as Boyle lets it fly, this time missing short. Eberle already with 2 threes. Stoughton gets a screen from Caffo. Back and forth game, Stoughton lets it fly from the wing. Off the mark. Sagehen's 1 of 6 from the field to start, not the start you want. Pete Boyle has been busy here early trying to take Damian. Nice defense there by Damian to disrupt that shot. Backdoor cut, good idea. Bad execution there by the Panthers.
Not a great execution, but you can't blame them. These Chapman Panthers have come out flying, and it's going to be interesting to see that matchup. Adam Damian for the Chapman Panthers facing off the 6'8" Pete Boyle for the Pomona Pittsburgh Sagehens. And when you have 2 tall guys like that just getting into the mix, you can only expect fireworks, and so far the Chapman Panthers been the ones providing.
And the freshman Joe Keegan getting some early minutes here. He's looked good these past couple of games, clearly earning Coach Krikorian's trust. This is Samir O'Brien looking to take Keegan. Beautiful move. Doesn't get the roll. And we have a foul on the Sagehens. We're going the other way. First media timeout of the game. Panthers hold an 8-3 lead. We'll be right back. Back in action here as the Panthers hold an early 8-3 lead over the Sagehens. Been a struggle for Pomona, 1 of 10 from the field. Panthers shooting 50%, 3 of 6. Eberle, he hit too early. Keegan gets a screen. Eberle 5 to shoot, trying to take Cookson to school. This time, misses badly. Great defense there by Cookson. A little full court press by the Panthers, now retreating back. Bergman, their second leading scorer, gets on the mark. Easy 2 there for Bergman.
No time wasting. When you are not in the lead like Pomona is currently, you need to get a quick start. Of course, it is still kind of early times, around 5.5 minutes gone by, as Damian just miscues that throw.
The rust clearly showing for Damian. Missing badly with that one. And Cookson tries to split the defense. He's fouled, tripped up a bit, and believe that's going to be the first on Eberle. And Lucas, you can see Coach Krikorian going with his hockey subs in and out and just trying to make the most of his deep bench.
And you have to give him kudos to that. Throughout the season, he's really developed some star bench players like Nigel Williams. Taking the words out of my mouth, of course, again and again, Pete Boyle, no time wasting.
Boyle can really shoot that three as a big fella. As they would say, a new generation big man, being able to stretch the floor like he can. And Cookson having trouble with the ball. I like this matchup versus Stoughton, and Keegan kind of gets blindsided there on defense. Luckily enough, they cannot take advantage.
And one thing that we might see throughout this game, Alex, the height difference in these teams. The Pomona Pitt Sagehens have over 6 players who are taller than 6'5". So when you have players as tall as that, who can just weigh in the paint, get those rebounds off, they're such weapons as Heberle isn't able to get that three-point shot through.
Samir O'Brien with a nice crossover, but Caffo, good recovery to disrupt that shot. Stoughton been quiet so far, no points on the game. Caffo looking to see who's open. He draws a double. Eberle's open from the corner. Can he get 3 3-pointers? He can. 9 quick points for Jake Eberle. Just, I mean, it's game in and game out, Lucas. That's what Eberle does.
And we know that Heberle is consistent when he has those opportunities, around 16 points a game. But if he continues up this form already with 9 on the night, I mean, it's been 7 minutes, Alex. If he continues this, who knows who can stop him.
And there's Cookson. We were waiting for him to get going. Averages 23 on the year for a reason. Caffo backs his defender down, and looks like we have a hook. Caffo does not like that call. I didn't see much from up here. Only his first, but he'll be going to the bench. TJ O'Brien, another freshman, getting some early minutes for the Panthers. Guarding the crafty guard Malarkey. Bergman kind of rushed that one, and he misses short because of it. Stoughton, nice crossover. Gets his own miss. No call there. Some physicality early on, but refs letting these guys play. And Bergman likes this matchup against Damian. He's grabbed, and he'll be shooting too.
And a few quick moments of physicality down there on the court. We know that both Pomona and Chapman might be slight school rivals just because of location, Alex, but in the first few moments, of course, 8 minutes gone by, it has been a bit chippy as Ty Bergman's able to put the first of 2 away.
Bergman goes 1 of 2 at the charity stripe. The team shoots 73% on the year. Caffo always looking for that open man with his dribble. Eberle gets doubled. Too many steps there by Caffo.
And that's just a rookie mistake as the timeout is called. CAFO just taking a few too many steps. They had passes open, but currently as it stands, the Sagehens have been able to bring it back to 11, tying Chapman Panthers 11, and it's been a very good display of offensive so far, Alex.
Great display of offense, and the Sagehens were shooting 1 of 10 and now up to 4 of 16. Better recovery, but knotted up at 11. Both teams know this is a crucial win. Crucial game, I should say, and it has lived up to the hype so far.
And an interesting decision by Coach Krikorian to put some of his younger guys in. Of course, we've seen the likes of T.J. O'Brien and Joe Keegan play in the Laverne game, so maybe just a bit more trust in those younger players, allowing them to play as the season continues.
And those freshmen are used to getting, people like to say garbage minutes, but now early minutes in the first half. Coach Krikorian certainly, as the season goes on, instills trust in these guys. Eberle with 9 of Chapman's 11 points, all coming behind the 3-point mark. He hit 6 threes last game, and he's following it up with 3 quick ones here. Boyle's got 2 threes of his own. Gets it into Bergman. Off the mark, and the Panthers are running. CAFO dribble handoff to Billings. Off ball screen by Eberle, looking to get Keegan open. Billings gets the screen, midi pop. He misses long. The Panthers would love to get Billings going.
Really need to get him going. So far, currently as it stands, he has 0 for 2 when it comes to field goals, and then he hasn't scored too many points. Typically throughout the beginning of the season, Alex, he was such an important part of the engine room of this offense. But in the last few games, it really has been Blakely Stone and Heberle stepping up to the plate.
And CAFO turns that one over, leading to a corner 3 by the Sagehens. That is Peyton Malarkey making the Panthers pay off the turnover.
And Malarkey maybe not being one of the taller players on this team, standing at 5'10", but he is a perfect match to Cruz Billings. Both players who aren't exactly the most physical, but they are extremely shifty down there on the court, and he's just showing his worth, Alex.
Joe Keegan, good shot there, but doesn't get the roll. CAFO cleans it up, and he coming with energy. Wanted that one to go, and he got it. Bergman, used to see him playing inside, this time missing from deep, and Billings looks to take Malarkey. Good defense. A lot of dribble handoffs in this offense for the Panthers, but have hit a standstill, shooting 5 of 17 on the game as of now. Bergman gets fouled. You could hear the slap from up here. The hoop and the harm. And he's got a chance for 3. Some big subs coming in from both teams. Nigel Williams, who started the game, is back in as well as Stoughton and the freshman T.J. O'Brien. Only 4 minutes for Williams, but in that 4 minutes, 2 points and 2 boards. Makes the most of his opportunities. And Bergman averaging 11 on the year, up to 5 now. Has come out aggressive in this game.
And an interesting decision to put TJ O'Brien back in the game as Stoughton tries a little jump shot, not able to get through. Williams recovers, gets the foul off. Well done. Of course, he just got brought back into the game, and that's a recurring theme that we've seen from Nigel Williams. He gets in the game, makes a quick impact, and then maybe gets taken off or substituted. But a true weapon for this Chapman Panthers side. He's electric anytime he's on the court.
And Williams, like we just said, a quick board and a quick chance at the line here, making the first one. Looks like the Sage Hens went into a zone that possession. Let's see if they continue to play with that defense. And Damian checking in for Keegan. 17-15 with 8:30 to go in this first half. Fun one so far. Both teams not shooting particularly well, but physical and intense as Bergman lets it fly from deep. Off the mark. Here's O'Brien. Hasn't seen that many minutes so far this year, and a bit out of control there, and he throws it away.
And you can't blame him for really trying to get into paint and get some points up. When you're a freshman, you really want to make an impact, especially on a side that hasn't really involved as many younger players. TJ O'Brien, you love to see players like that throwing themselves on the court to try to keep possession.
Here's Joe Cookson. He's been quiet, only 2 points so far tonight. Panthers have done a good job limiting him, and look at Nigel Williams pulling down his 4th rebound. He's a fun player to watch. Stoughton, he's been 0 for 4. Rare start to the game for him. We got a push. And Chapman ball side out after this timeout. Lucas, 17 to 15 point lead for this Sage Hens team. What have you seen from them?
Well, we saw a quick start from both teams, but the Chapman Panthers have died off in the last few moments. It's going to be interesting to see if Heberly continues to hold the lift or if he gets to mixed up more with the likes of Stoughton and Billings.
And Stoughton and Billings, the two guys who produced a scoring load last game when these two teams faced off. 16 for Stoughton, 15 for Billings. 0 points between the two of them, but Eberly leading the way with 9 points, all coming from behind the arc.
And it's an interesting dynamic because it seems that the Chapman Panthers will always go back and forth, whether it be Blakely Stoughton being the star like we saw in Laverne, or Jake Heberly like we're seeing in this game already has 9 points. And when it comes to the last game against Laverne, both players played tremendously. 22 for Heberly and 21 for Stoughton. That's over 40 points all by themselves, Alex.
They're a great duo, and when those two are on, it's hard to beat this Chapman team. A lot of game left to be played here. Two ties, one lead change. Panthers winning the rebounding battle here, 16 to 12. And it looks like the Sage Hens are coming out in that 2-3 zone once again, forcing this Panther team to really beat them behind the 3-point line as TJ O'Brien lets it fly. Good look there, but off the mark.
And you love to see those younger players have the confidence to take on shots like that from behind the 3-point line. As the jump shot is just not able to squeak by. Damian recovering, and he's going to need to watch out if he's going to throw himself on the court like that.
Eberly looks to create, this time a fadeaway mid-range. He's in double digits just like that. 11 of the 17 points for Chapman.
And he has really been you never want to say carrying an offense, Alex, but he already has 11 points out of the 17. He has been huge as the layup is made beautiful.
Pomona back up 2. Stoughton looks to get his first 2 of the game. Tough shot. And a great sign for the Panthers. This is Owen Avdalovic. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. Pete Boyle. Great display of footwork and using the bank to get that too. Petey Boyle up to 8 points on the game.
And when you have players as big as Boyle, 6'8", of course, the pride of Boulder, Colorado, with such athleticism and footwork like he has, he's always going to be a threat whenever he's in the paint. And a little spin in the layup, he's hoping to continue this form throughout the game.
Already matching his season average at 8 points. Has Boyle. Stoughton looking to be a zone buster, or Billings, I should say. Off the mark, and O'Brien pulls it down, but Stone strips it from him and lays it up for the easy 2. Great defense there by Stoughton.
Huge takeaway from Stoughton. We got a bit of flashbacks from that poster we saw against the Laverne game, just maybe expecting that with time, but safe for him, and now he's up to 4 in the game, getting started.
Boyle guarded by Simon. Cookson looks to get going. He got away with a walk there, but doesn't matter. He misses the easy bunny. Stoughton is whacked. Full head of steam and foul on the floor. Under 5 to go here in this first half. Tied at 21. A fun one so far. Our second game of this Saturday doubleheader. Stoughton, nice jab step, getting himself open. He misses short. Jump ball, nice hustle there by Keegan. Possession, Sage ends.
And we've seen a lot of, you could say, dramatic plays by Keegan. Of course, he is, as we've mentioned before, a younger player, but still 6'6". He is one of the taller players for this Chapman side, and he sure is playing like one of them.
Larkey guarded by Billings. Eight to go on the shot clock. Cookson is stripped by Stoughton. Stoughton's been great defensively, leading to the fast break. Keegan gets the easy 2. Defense leading to offense.
And imagine that one, Alex. Joe Keegan, huge quick break offensively. Almost got the dunk on that one, but still, for a freshman, huge displays from him.
Cookson is fouled there by Stoughton, but when guarded by Stoughton, no easy buckets are gonna come around. Timeout here. And Lucas, what have you seen so far from both teams?
Well, so far it's been very good from both teams. Lots of offense and defense. We've seen Blakely Stone be good at both of them. It's been great, Alex.
Little under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. We will be right back. back in action here after a slow start for Blakely Stoughton. Lucas, he's been doing it all. 2 steals defensively, leading to easy buckets for him, and has propelled this Panther team to a 2-point lead here.
And it took him a little bit to start. Sometimes just you need to kick the engine a bit to get it going. But currently, he is as it stands, 4 points, tied with Nigel Williams under Jake Heberle's 11. And if he continues to slowly but surely creep his way up when it comes to points, I'm sure he'll have another great game.
And Cookson at the foul line. Only 2 points so far here in this game. Gets the first one. He shoots it at 82% on the year. Tied up at 23. Just a little under 4 to go here in this first half. Billings looks to create, finds Jacob Simon. Wild shot there, and he's way off the mark. Nice move there by Andalovic, but he misses badly. Billings directing traffic, gets the high screen from Simon. The freshman Keegan in the corner. No good.
And you have to say, Alex, both of these teams have really been playing like the similar rankings that they have. Of course, Pomona in 6th in SCIAC and Chapman in 7th as the foul is called, but they've really been playing with as much power and as much veracity as they're able to.
And it's tied for a reason. Back in the game are the 2 big men for the Panthers, Nigel Williams, Adam Damian. And Boyle almost left wide open there for a second. And that's wide open. And the foul throws it down over Nigel Williams. That is Matthew Diekman. Not a clean dunk, but got the job done.
Got the job done indeed. If he's able to get this one in, that's a 3-point drive, Alex. Those are the type of offensive drives that this Pomona side is really wanting to have if they want to separate themselves in the lead.
And Diekman converts the 3-point play. A lot of off-ball screens for Krikorian's offense. And Stoughton left open wide and gets the bucket in a breeze.
And now we're starting to see a Blakely Stoughton that we've seen throughout the entirety of the season, starting to pick up on offense as Cookson goes up, gets 2 for his own.
Just too easy there for the leading scorer, Cookson. Sagehen's up 3. Billings looks to tie it up, and he needed that one badly. Cruz Billings gets on the board.
And both teams essentially saying, Alex, whatever you can do, I can do better. An unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. It's a very good game.
Minute 40 to go in this first half. Like you just said, right back at you. Avdalovic. Crossover by Stoughton. Damian, he's wide open. Can't take advantage. Sagehen's look to run. Boyle gives him a high screen. Pick and pop action. Does he have another one? In and out. Billings slows it down for just a second. 1 minute to go in this first half. Stoughton looks to create, pulls up mid-range, no good. Let's see if the Sagehens look for a 2-for-1 opportunity here. Avdalovic, he's been good this game. And Williams corrals it. Sagehens fans want to travel, got away with one. And the Panthers can basically hold for one. Billings attacks at 6 seconds. Eberle, way too much time, and that is too easy. Miscommunication for the Sagehens, and Eberle takes advantage. What a way to end that first half, Lucas. Tie game.
Tied game, Jake Heberle. It truly has been the Jake Heberle show in this first half of action. He has been huge when it comes to 3 points, when it comes to defense. There has been no stopping him. And Alex, if he continues this form, he might even break the 1,200 career point.
Great half there for Eberle. We're tied up at 31. Eberle leading the way with 14 points. 4 threes. Cookson has come alive a little bit for the Sagehens, and look at this stat graphic right here.
Pretty much, like we said in the beginning, neck and neck. The only things that have been making the differences when it comes to rebounds and points, they have been exactly the same. And of course, like two teams who are tied in conference, they've truly been playing like it.
And this has been a great second game of this doubleheader. Let's take a look at these highlights. It's been the Eberle show for Chapman. Bergman, the second leading scorer for the Sagehens, and 1. Stoughton, defense leading 2. A Keegan layup. And a lot at stake here for these two teams. Throwing it down on Nigel Williams, that's not easy. And that's how you cap off that first half tie game. 13 minutes to go here once the second half starts, and we'll be right back. Thank you. Tied game here after one half at the Hutton Sports Center. Both teams fighting for some playoff positioning. And Lucas, you talked about these newer guys, freshmen playing a lot for this Chapman team and producing.
It's been an interesting display so far. We saw in the Laverne game lots of the younger guys come in and make a bit of an impact. But so far, Joe Keegan, number 33 for the Chapman Panthers, he's been flying. And once he gets brought back in, I'm sure he's going to do something huge. As Williams tries to get the little off the glass and in, not able to, and recovered by Pomona.
Some great two-man game there by the Chapman Bigs, but refs really letting these guys play. Physicality underneath. Sam Lind, he's been quiet tonight. Cookson almost got away with the travel there, but luckily enough, an easy two right at the cup for Cookson.
And a mistake turned into a gift. Cookson might have tried for the three and given off the pass, but a beautiful little layup from him. And now it's the Panthers' turn to come on offense and show what they got.
Eberle, he lit it up the first half with 14 points. Trying to continue where he left off. He gets hit, and he'll be shooting two. And Eberle shoots it at 89% on the year. Basically, money every time he's at the charity stripe. Fun little guard matchup here, Malarkey versus Billings. Both of them have hit a three. Bergman, great positioning. And that's on Williams. You see Bergman just clearing his way out, using his physicality and strength to draw the foul in. Great positioning there by Bergman.
Well, when you stand at 6'7", Alex, you just naturally have that ability to just crowd your space and get into dangerous areas. Very well done from Bergman. He's been great throughout the entire game.
Step back midi from Cookson. He's finally come alive here. 4 quick second half points. Ooh, Eberle got away with a double there. Stoughton receives a screen from Williams. Williams just charges right in, lowers that shoulder into Lynn, and that's an offensive foul. Can't do that in front of the ref.
Pretty blatant. These referees have been a bit more on the forgiving side when it comes to fouls, but Williams absolutely trucking through his man there, and you just can't do that.
Once you lower that shoulder, it's not going to have much luck. And 2 minutes underway here. The Sage Hens hold a 2-point lead. Pete Boyle, he's at 2 of those. Make that 3 from the left wing. Your typical stretch big in today's era of basketball. The Panthers, more traditional, old school big men. Back your guy down and go to work like Caffo this time. Doesn't work for him. Panthers almost get a steal from that Eberle tip. And Cookson just makes it look easy, gliding in the air, and gets the easy 2.
And the amount of airtime that Cookson had on that one, flying like Superman, he's been tremendous throughout the entire night. Currently has 10 points. So got those double digits that he wanted. Now Billings trying to get something.
Billings once again struggling from the field. And Cookson this time taking Eberly. He went at Stoughton the first time and just putting on a display. All of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard, Sage-Hens are up 9. Lucas just utter dominance from the Sage-Hen team early on in the second half.
Essentially, in the flash of an eye, Alex, the Pomona Pitt's Sage-Hens have absolutely flown away with this game. Like you said, a 9-point lead. Joe Cookson now currently with 12 points, and Pete Boyle, you have to talk about a duo. 11 and 14 for each other. 25 points total in between both of them. And it's almost a perfect match, Alex. Chapman Panthers with Blakely Stone and Jake Heberly, and now the Sage-Hens with Joe Cookson and Pete Boyle. We couldn't ask for a better duo v duo. And if the game continues to play out the way it's been playing, there's no predicting what could happen.
And as usual, Stoughton and Eberly, 22 of the Panthers' 33 points. Tough to win and tough to compete when you're getting production from really only 2 guys on the offensive end.
And when you look at the stats, Alex, like we saw in the pregame, very similar on most things, and it continues to follow that pattern. Field goal percentage is 43 for Pomona, and that doesn't give him justice to how accurate some of these throws have been. Pete Boyle absolutely laying it down on that 3. He's really started his engine and got going to the races. And when you have a player as tall as Pete Boyle, 6'7" senior, like I mentioned, the pride of Boulder, Colorado, if he continues like this, there's going to be no stopping him, Alex.
Boyle is 3rd on this Sage-Hens team with 3s on the year, and Stoughton just putting his defender in a blender. The easy deuce. Bergman just using that size and creating so much space, difficult to guard.
And a difficult thing for these Chapman Panthers now, they're getting in this recurring pattern of going up, getting some points, but then allowing Pomona to find some points for themselves, pretty much just going back and forth. When you're losing by 9 points like Chapman currently is, you cannot afford to give and take. They're gonna need to start dominating this quick.
Cookson. Keegan out of way to get in the passing lane, up for Stoughton, this time with the left-handed jam. Trying to get this Panther team and this crowd going.
And those kind of plays, Alex, are what you need when your team is in a bit of a momentum dip. Just going up and absolutely laying down the business, huge from the Panthers, and there he is again, Keegan. The freshman, that's the second time he does that in the last 20 seconds, Alex.
Using that long wingspan to his advantage. This time, Adam Damien fading away. Would have trimmed the lead to 5. Under 15 to go here in this game. Tied at the half, but Sage-Hens quickly pulled themselves up to a 7-point lead. Malarkey, he's been quiet offensively. Damien disrupts the shot, but no one is there to box out Bergman. Billings, one-handed shot. Not ideal if you're the Panthers. And Cookson looks to make it a double-digit game. He's fouled, and he'll be shooting 2.
And one player we have to give lots of credit to, Bergman has been absolutely flying. Not one of their most known offensive players. Of course, Ty Bergman, the senior forward, 6'7". Not the pride of Boulder, Colorado, but the pride of Denver, Colorado. And it seems that there's no stopping these Colorado boys, Alex.
And when you look at Chapman, they have been playing well offensively. Look at this defense leading to a Stoughton jam. We've seen that movie several times, but they can't be trading buckets. The Sage-Hens, they've been getting to the rack quick and easy, and they're up with a 9-point lead, can make it double digits with these Cookson free throws.
And you must feel number 33 for the Chapman Panthers, Joe Keegan. He's having an absolute flying game when it comes to defense. 2 takeaways that led to offensive drives for the Chapman Panthers. Not too much play time under him, but he's been playing like a true veteran.
Stoughton now in double digits after that nice spin move and that left-handed jam. But would love to see some more production offensively from that Chapman bench. Joe Keegan doing it defensively with 2 steals. And we're back in action. Double-digit lead for the Sage Hens. Eberle, no baskets here in this half. He did hit 2 free throws, but quiet so far. That could change after this result. Missing on that one, but he gets it right back. Sees the double. Stoughton's open. The lefty lets it fly from deep. No good. And the Sage Hens are on the run. Keegan, I like this matchup guarding Cookson, and Bergman from deep, just like that. It's a 14-point lead for the Sage Hens. And here comes Keegan. Errant pass there. And now this leads to an easy 2 until Keegan comes back and pins that shot off the backboard.
The new against the old on that one. Keegan absolutely stopping the Sage Hens on that one. Bergman all by himself essentially, and then Keegan flies in. Absolutely huge displays from the freshman.
You earn your minutes by playing on the defensive side, and Coach Krikorian has to love what he sees from Keegan. 2 steals and a block this quarter. Back to that zone. Sage Hens ran that a little bit first half. Wide open for Eberle, right in front of the Chapman bench. And oh boy, did the Panthers need that one. Still a double-digit lead for the Sage Hens. Backdoor cut. Bergman wide open in the corner. He just hit from that same spot, and Cookson with a very easy board. Nobody boxing him out. He was kind of surprised by that himself.
Surprised by himself indeed, Alex. And now that the Chapman Panthers are focusing more on Bergman, the defense cannot forget about Joe Cookson, still the highest leading scorer for this Pomona side. And he's able to get that first one in. 1 of 2 good for Joe Cookson.
Just like that, Cookson is up to 18 points. Quiet first half, but he can get buckets in a flurry. Caffo, old school big man with the left. A scoop around. And a nice take on the strong physical center in Bergman.
And when you have the physicality that Murphy Caffo has, 6'5", you just got to take advantage of it, back up into your man, and get the rebounds off. Very well done from him, but still, lots of work to be done, Alex.
Bergman goes baseline, just muscles his way through. And he's been a fun player to watch. Up to 13 points. Keegan letting it fly from deep, in and out. Oh, the Panthers needed that one. Here's O'Brien, guarded by O'Brien. Actually, O'Brien versus O'Brien. Cookson guarded by Simon. Just one by one, beating every Chapman defender that comes in his way. God, Cookson can play. Lead up to 14, tying the largest deficit, make it 12. The easy deuce by Simon, and Coach Krikorian wants a quick timeout. Just like that, the Sagehens are up 12. We'll be right back. Back at the Hutton Sports Center here, the Pomona Pitzer Sagehens have come out firing in this second half. Lucas, Chapman's played well offensively, but just cannot get the stops that they need.
Can't get them indeed, Alex. Pomona currently in that second half, 10 for 14, so they've been incredibly accurate when it comes to taking advantage of their positions. And the Chapman defense is ranked rather high in SCIAC. Third overall, but needing to really pick up the momentum defensively. You have to give kudos to some of these players, and specifically Joe Keegan. He's been huge on defense, but you can't win games by yourself, Alex. If these Panthers want to come back, they're going to need to really start locking down their defense, as the takeaway is made by himself, Murphy Caffo.
Taking Caffo right at the rim. Matthew Diekman dunked on Nigel Williams first half, then going amongst the trees and Caffo this half. Let's see what Caffo's got here. Spins on Bergman, goes for the reverse, out of control shot. And Pomona is firing on both sides of the floor. Williams comes in to grab Caffo. Just gets it in to Cookson. Now he's got Billings on him. Quite the height advantage. Finds Samir O'Brien, taking his time. Nice touch with the floater.
Nice touch on offense. And when you look at the stats, Alex, in between Joe Cookson, Ty Bergman, and Pete Boyle, they collectively have 44 points. just in between those three players. If you're this Chapman defense, you're really wanting to just lock down those three players, maybe put double defense on some of them. Not too much you can do against greatness, and some greatness for the Chapman Panthers. Nigel Williams, we know that he gets going quickly once he gets in, and hopefully he'll be able to continue that momentum.
I really believe Williams should be getting more minutes, just what I've seen these past 2 games. Coming back from an injury, but he makes the most of his opportunities as Bergman gets the feed from O'Brien. No good. Simon can't corral it. And the Sagehens get a wide open opportunity. That is Matthew Diekman. Just an absolutely demoralizing possession if you're the Panthers.
Absolutely demoralizing, like you were saying. Matthew Diekman, one of those sneaky players on offense, of course, as you mentioned, dunked on Nigel Williams. Not an easy task to do, mind you, and he's had those accurate three-point shots. And might not be one of the star players like the 3 I previously mentioned.
And Eberle and Keegan checking back in. I believe this is the correct lineup for Coach Krikorian. Scorers and defenders, and just need to chip away at this lead. Still plenty of time left. 5 on the shot clock. Eberle finding the Keegan, the freshman, in the corner. He misses long, and we're going to stay here. Timeout by the Panthers. Looks like Williams is having trouble getting up. Let's see, hope he's okay. Sagehens up 17. We'll be right back. After being tied at halftime, the Sagehens have just ran away with this game, and offensive domination by them, Lucas.
Domination is the right word for free throws. They are 9 and 10, so they've been absolutely taking advantage of when they've had the ball. When you look at the stats, time in lead, they have 17 minutes in comparison to Chapman's 7. So although it was tied at halftime, Alex, the stats say that Pomona have been in control for the majority of this game.
Much needed 3 for the Panthers. Stowen. And now the Panthers kind of bluff a press and then drop back into coverage. High screen here by Boyle. Pick and pop. They did that the first half. Just running circles around this Chapman defense. Make it look so easy. Eberle looks to get to the cup. He's fouled on the floor. Just when the Panthers go on a tiny run, hit a big shot, the Sagehens go right back and do it on their own. Billings Finding Stoughton from that left wing. Same spot, same result for Stoughton. Lead back down to 14.
And you have to give credits to these guys. Jake Heberly and Blakely Stoughton both in the double digits, of course. Jake Heberly with 19, Blakely Stoughton with 16 points. He has been flying. But two players can't win a game for you. And now a quick break. Keegan.
.6:30 to go here in this game. Panthers have made runs at it. Just need to clean up defensively. But plenty of time left on this clock. As Billings looks to get going, only 3 points on the night. Eberly. Oh, in and out, but Williams grabs the board, falls to the ground. Love the way that Williams fights down there, getting his team second chances and second opportunities.
And for not playing as much of the season due to injury, Nigel Williams, this only his second game started in the season, Alex. He's been an absolute hustler for this team. Getting in, trying to get the rebounds as Heberly lays that one up perfectly. Jake Heberly extending his lead. 21 points in the game today. Individually, Alex, he's been phenomenal.
So efficient, so good at what he does, and down at 12. Let's see if the Panthers can get some much needed stops. Sagehens have only missed 6 shots this entire half. 10 on the shot clock. Great defensive stand so far for the Panthers. Malarkey finding Bergman wide open in the corner. Can't get a board, and Cookson, the easiest two he's gonna get all night. Absolutely demoralizing for the Panthers.
And in the last few minutes, Joe Cookson has been a bit slower, held that 20 point for a while, but adds 2 more to his collection. He's been allowing his teammates to really flourish, like Bergman and Boyle. And as you were saying, the Pomona Pits are so accurate, and that's a big reason to why they've been taking advantage. The Chapman Panthers have given them little time, but in that little time, they for sure put the nail on the coffin. As Boyle does that, of course he does. Extending his lead to now 17 points.
Stoughton jabs middle, goes baseline, almost lost the ball. He pulls up from deep. He's off the mark, and with 4:30 to go, Panthers find themselves down 17 points. And Cookson finding the wide open Bergman, making it look easy against his Panther defense. Screen from Williams. Eberly tap at the key 3. It's off the mark. And Diekman, just a clear lane for him. Lays it right over Eberly. Largest lead of the game for the Sagehens at 21. And looks like Coach Krikorian is emptying that bench, throwing in the white flag. Much needed 3 for Keegan and these Panthers, but they find themselves down 18, Lucas, with 3:33 here to go in this game.
Well, you can't quit them, knock them for quitting. Keegan hitting his first 3. I'm sure, although this may not be the result that the Chapman Panthers want, still a bit of, individual pride. You're a freshman, one of the youngest guys who's allowed to play on this court under Coach Krikorian. We've seen him with takeaways. We've seen him with offensive displays. He's been great for being one of the younger players.
Keegan's on both sides of the floor. One of the few bright spots for this team. Like we said, it was tied at after 1. But the Sagehens team, they look like a brand new team coming out of the second half. Of course, their leading scorer, Joe Cookson, came alive. 22 points on the night. Petey Boyle, 5 threes. Bergman adding 16 of his own. And again, Lucas, Stowen and Eberly, 37 of Chapman's 57 points. If you're Coach McCorrin, you need other guys to step up.
100%, Alex. When you look at the stats, apart from Jake Heberly with 21 and Blakely Stone with 16, the third place is Nigel Williams with 6. So just having such a deficit when it comes to scoring, you really need to encourage some of your other players to get mixed with the offense.
Nice fake there by Lind. He gets a 2-on-1 break. Bergman, easy deuce. He's up to 18 points on the night. And Chapman emptying their bench. We said it before. Sicaccio is fouled. He'll be shooting 2. And the Panthers will take on Occidental twice this week, actually, in a back-to-back, one on Monday and one on Wednesday. But cannot carry that momentum from their 40-point blowout against Laverne last game. But this is a Sage-Hen team, Lucas, who's fundamentally sound, don't make too many mistakes, and a lot of guys producing on offense for them.
A lot of guys indeed, and although in the SCIAC, both teams essentially were tied before the game, both Pomona and Chapman 4 and 5 in SCIAC in conference play, it's that little bit of difference, that little bit more athleticism that the Sage-Hens have brought to the table, which has ultimately made the big difference.
Back up to 20. 4 Sage-Hens in double digits. Sicaccio getting to the hoop, and he's fouled again. He'll shoot 2. The Sage-Hens will take on Caltech in their next game. One of the bottom teams in the SCIAC. Less than 2 minutes to go here in this game. Nice move and footwork there by Alex Kim. He's on the board for the first time. Timeout by Pomona. 1:30 to go in this game, up 18. Just, we talked about it a bunch, Lucas, but pure dominance from them this second half.
And the difference in between both of these teams, Alex, has truly been their ability to distribute the scoring. When you look at the stats, I've mentioned multiple times, of course, the likes of Joe Cookson, Ty Bergerman, Pete Boyle. But there's so many other players who have been huge for this team. You have to talk about him. One of the more sneaky players, Matthew Diekman, one of those shiftier players, but on offense, he's also been huge. While you look at the Chapman Panthers, really the only ones who have kind of stood out in comparison to their teammates have been Jake Heberly and Blakely Stone, pretty much carrying this offense on their back. When you have a game with as high stakes as this one, of course, this essentially for the Panthers, if they won moving up on Sky because they had the exact same result as Pomona, but just not able to provide. Of course, they were doing pretty good when it came to home games. And it'll be a tough game against Occidental, who currently are 5th in SCIAC, above Pomona. It's going to be interesting to see how they deal with that.
Not the past month that you would have wanted if you're the Chapman team. Gonna fall to 4-6 in the SCIAC. Not much time left to make that playoff run. The clock is ticking. But a fun day here at the Hutton Sports Center. Game 1 of the doubleheader was a absolute barn burner with the Chapman women's team squeaking by a tough Pomona team, and just a back and forth game. And this one fun as well, tied after the first half, but the Sage Hens just kind of ran away with it. So the two teams split this doubleheader today.
Exactly, Alex. You have to say 1-1, one for the women's team for Chapman and one for the men's team for Pomona. But if you're the Sage Hens, you will not be too disappointed at all. Coming to the Hutton Sports Center here at Chapman University and running away with the W. If you're the Sage Hens, you must be pretty happy with how it's gone.
And Pomona will go to 500 in conference play at 5-5. A dominating second half for the Sage Hens, 73-69. Panthers fall to 4-6 in conference play. Lucas, fun game, but not the outcome you wanted if you're the Panthers.
Not the outcome you want at all. On paper before the game, we saw the stats were almost par for par. Extremely similar teams on paper and in conference, but when it came to the court, Pomona were just more on it. In the beginning of the game, Alex, the Panthers really had it going pretty well. But as the game progressed, Pomona were just the ones who ran away with it.
You can see Stoughton there. He played a great game on both sides of the ball. Look at Joe Keegan finding Stoughton for the slam. But the Sage Hens had answer after answer. You can see Pete Boyle just no hesitation, shooting it from deep. Shout out to our halftime performance.
And now you have to say, I mean, when it comes to offense, they were huge. But one of the big differences were points in the paint, Alex. When you get in there, you're in the danger zone on offense, just taking advantage of those 40 points in the paint. 50% pretty much of their shots were from in the paint, and it's just that ability to take advantage of when you're in the danger zone, which made such a big difference when it came on offense.
But that will wrap up our Saturday doubleheader at Hutton Sports Center. Lucas, fun day, but if you're the men's team for Chapman, not a lot of time left. You got to do some soul searching, and falling 4-6 in the conference, not ideal.
It is going to be interesting to see if they continue to play some of the younger players like Keegan. He had a huge game, so most likely they'll be able to keep playing him, but really Coach Krikorian needing to cook something up special if they're going to want to push into the playoffs.
Chapman take on Occidental here at the Hutton Sports Center on Monday. Alongside Lucas Patton, I'm Alex Kokoros. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network.